Welcome to Claiming Space, the podcast. I'm Gail Austin, an advocate for caregivers, a dreamer, an iPhone photographer, and a self-confessed museum lover. As a caregiver, it took me some time to learn how to carve out space for me and to be okay with claiming my space. But once I did, this simple step allowed me to stay fueled, fulfilled, and replenished. Each week, I will share my stories, my journey, and ways I stay inspired as a caregiver. Join me for shared stories, connections, special guests, and inspiration. Hi, everybody. It's been a few weeks since my last episode, and today I have a very special episode on legacy and love and grief and joy and inspiration. Typically, I start off this podcast by mentioning that I am a caregiver for my daughter. I will always be my daughter's caregiver, but my dear, sweet daughter has passed away, and now I am the custodian of her stories and her impact. And I wanted to do a special episode to really speak about her light and her legacy. I am holding her stories and her light and sharing these stories now in a different way. Losing a loved one is beyond words. It's hard to put your feelings into something as concrete as words. Your emotions ebb and flow. My emotions have been ebbing and flowing. Where one moment I'm okay and the next moment I'm not. And it's hard to explain all these emotions right now. But I wanted to make sure that I was authentic in my messaging as a caregiver advocate and with this podcast. With my daughter's passing, I started to think about her legacy, and I want to share what legacy means to me. We always think it's this big thing, and you have to be this famous person, and people need to know all these wonderful things that you've done and said. That's your legacy. But I see legacy in a different way. It's about how you can impact people just by being you, and that's exactly what Taisha did. She was nonverbal, and she was in a wheelchair. And she was on this earth for 42 years. But that didn't mean she was just sitting there, unaware and not participating in life. She was fully involved in her life. She had a daily routine. She was aware of everything going on around her. And even though she was nonverbal, and doctors have diagnosed her with a textbook medical diagnosis, that did not define her. Most importantly, Ty knew who she was. She knew who her family was. She enjoyed taking her bus rides to her day program Monday through Friday. She enjoyed getting in the car and taking road trips. And sometimes, honestly, she was pissed at me because she initially didn't want to go. And I can hear her correcting me right now saying, Mom, I didn't really want to go all the time. She loved listening to Basha and putting up with my singing in the car. She watched tons of movies, some of them over and over again. Not sure how many times she watched Beauty and the Beast or Mary Poppins or The Wiz or Chitty Chitty Bang Bang or even Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. And these are just a few of her favorite selections on constant rotation. She's been on plane rides to visit her grandma back east. She loved red velvet cake. Who doesn't? I mean, it's perfect, right? And yes, she was physically handicapped. And yes, she was limited in her physical skills and her verbal skills. But she was very aware of the world that she was in. When Ty was happy, you knew it. And she was happy 98% of the time. She would laugh out loud at movies. She would laugh at the jokes on TV shows. And she had a deep little guttural laugh that we used to call her Eddie Murphy giggle. She lit up a room and was loud, and everyone knew she was there. If you spent time with her, you saw her joy and you saw her love. And she knew that she was loved. She had a very special bond with her brother, and she loved him. He could walk out of a room and walk back in the room, And she acted like she hadn't seen him in 5 years. Like she was so excited. The giggle would come out. She would light up. Her body would just vibrate with the love. That's how much she loved him. And in the link below for this episode, there'll be a special link to a special tribute video he did for her. You know, I say all these things that legacy doesn't necessarily have to be this big fancy thing, right? It doesn't mean you have to be famous, go on talk shows or film some movie, wonderful movie that people talk about for years and years and years. But your legacy is how you move in this world. Your legacy is who you touch and who you impact, no matter how small. Your legacy are the things that you do that make a difference. And your legacy is love. How much you love and how much you are loved. I recently wrote in a post that Taisha was an earthbound angel, and now she's in heaven flying free with her wings. No longer bound to her wheelchair or trapped in her body or in pain. My angel's biggest gift was and is her joy and her love. We will all remember that, and we will all feel that, and we will always feel that. We're blessed to have pictures and little videos of her, but most of Tai lives in our hearts. It's right there for us to feel when we think about her, or if we see something that she liked and we can hear her giggle. Tai's legacy will remind me, how do I make people feel? What am I sharing with them so they feel better, so that they feel love and they feel inspired? Tai's legacy is about the simple things. She showed us you don't need a lot to embrace joy. Tai showed us this every single day. Tai's spirit, Tai's joy will always be with us. And even though she is gone, love wins. Love still wins because her love is with us always. Thank you for listening to this episode, and I encourage you to listen to other episodes in the series. I will continue to do different inspirational episodes, and hopefully some of this inspires you to get out in the world. I hope Taisha's story inspires you to get out in the world and embrace and love those simple things.